Is Fort Wayne a nice place to live? Does Fort Wayne have a military base? It has the word fort in it. Are the winters really that bad? Does everyone in Indiana live on a farm? I'm going to answer all these questions and more because today I'm unboxing Fort Wayne. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel, Living in Fort Wayne. If we have not already met, I am Francesca Dials, realtor with Keller Williams here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Now, many of you have possibly never heard of this lovely city. Just like many of you, our family was moving here for a job opportunity. I had never even been to this part of the US, to be honest. I started thinking about Indiana, why Fort Wayne? I don't know. I didn't know anything about the area. There was absolutely nothing that I knew about Indiana. I had visited Lansing, which is actually in Michigan. From that, I realized, oh, hey, this is actually really close to Fort Wayne. Close to a lot of cities, actually. So Toledo, it's about an hour and 45 minutes away. We got Indianapolis, Chicago, Columbus, Detroit, they're all about 3 hours away. So a lot of big cities, which is pretty great. Lots of really great places to travel and go explore for a weekend. But when I think of those areas, I think of chilly weather. So moving from Texas, it gets cold, but it doesn't get like Fort Wayne cold. So when people tell you it's cold here, they're not lying. It is true. We get all 4 seasons, but most of our time is gonna be it feels like it's winter. Average summers are gonna still be what you would normally think, mid 80s. There is some humidity here as well, so that can be a little uncomfortable for some people, but during the day you might get into the 90s. It hasn't hit 100 in a while, but there is definitely noticeable temperature drops, I would say right around Veterans Day. So we start to see those low in the mid 50s come up, high in the upper 70s. So lovely fall weather is coming. So you'll definitely be wearing pullovers, hoodies, jackets. Just keep yourself comfortable. We are on the tail end of the winds and the cold that come from the lake. So we're not necessarily as cold as like Detroit and Michigan, but we'll still get those 20s and below. We'll get those cold fronts that bring in, the heavy snows and those significant temperature drops down into the single digits, especially at night. January is typically our coldest month, and February is the one where you're gonna see more snow and just where like ice and cold is more of a factor. Fort Wayne, for about the past 10 to 15 years, has been seeing some amazing economic development throughout the downtown area. It is becoming a revitalized industrial town in the Midwest, and being able to see all of these amazing projects that the local government is putting a lot of priority into it's been really, really incredible to witness. Now, all this started when they built Parkview Field and opened the doors in 2009. And that's when we started to see this rebound and these changes that have just been incredible to witness. Parkview Field has become one of the symbols of what can happen when people take a chance on a downtown. The Tin Caps have just started their 14th season this year, and they are coming off of record-breaking attendance, which is completely upending expectations about downtown Fort Wayne's potential. To be honest, most people were actually against Parkview Field at the time because they didn't understand how it would be an economic boom, how it would be able to contribute to the economy in this area. They didn't get it. And it was actually a 6-3 vote at City Council at the time to get it approved. So you can just see how it wasn't a unanimous vote for this project to actually happen. And it certainly provided local residents, though, with a new ballpark experience. And I think by doing that, they actually are seeing that this decision was a good one. It draws attention to an entirely different experience in the development of downtown Fort Wayne as well. It's actually been quite opposite. The city has seen an economic boom with the development of nearby cityscape apartments, the Ash Skyline Plaza, the revitalization of the landing, and even a renewed interest in restoring historic homes throughout West Central. So all of this has been a ripple effect due to the baseball stadium's success. The crazy thing is, I've only mentioned Parkview Field. The amount of projects going on in downtown Fort Wayne, it's incredible. We have Promenade Park project. There's the Ashbury project. One of our personal favorites, and I will say probably most exciting project that is happening in Fort Wayne, is taking place, is the Electric Works project. This project alone is really going to take Fort Wayne to the next level economically. The Electric Works property, it's a historic building. It's very bold. It's got this very bold look to it. And the adaptive reuse of this campus is really going to maximize the facility's density of existing structures and offer a broad array of uses. Some of those uses are going to include innovation, education, residential, commercial, community, and even hospitality. Great thing about it, it's going to be incredibly walkable, very accessible place. It's awesome. It is hands down top-notch project. We are so excited about it. Going to kind of dive into a bit more of the spaces that are going to be taking place in the Electric Works projects. One of these spaces is going to be the Union Street Market at Electric Works. Now, the Union Street Market is going to showcase public art from 9 regional artists. Fort Wayne is really big on art. There's art all over downtown. Side of buildings, we have the art museum. We're big on art. So the fact that we're encompassing this in new projects as well, I think it's pretty special. Another really cool thing is that it's going to have its first food hall and public market. So it's going to be Northeast Indiana's first food hall and public market, when it's going to celebrate, again, the creativity of the region by highlighting local food entrepreneurs, as well as mural panels that are going to be painted by local artists. And this is one of the things about Fort Wayne that we continue to be excited about and are really happy that we're actually on the ground floor. We moved here at a fantastic time. It's pretty phenomenal. And the word is spreading. Now, I mentioned the Union Market. It's going to have also, as I mentioned, the food hall. So speaking of food, what kind of foods we rocking with here in Fort Wayne, Indiana? So there's a couple staples: sugar cream pie and the signature sandwich, which is made of a pork cutlet that is typically 3 times the size of its bun. It's massive, but it's delicious. And that's going to be your pork tenderloin sandwich. Hoosier cuisine would best be described from my perspective as comfort food. I love chili. Chili also is a big thing in Indiana. It's not uncommon, which I have never eaten my chili this way. Even since we've moved here, I know how I like my chili. But people do like to eat their chili with noodles instead of rice. It's different, not my choice, but again, to each their own. There also are going to be pierogies, which are a big thing here. They even have a pierogi fest in Indiana, so you can just engulf in all of the awesomeness of fried dumplings. Who wouldn't want to get down on some fried dumplings? Now, a lot of people don't know this about Fort Wayne, but Northern Indiana is actually home to the 3rd largest Amish region in the United States. Indiana has the most Amish communities with over 10 church districts, and that is in comparison to Ohio, which has 3, and Pennsylvania, which has 4. So we have 2 Amish settlements, one in Adams County and one in Allen County. And these Amish communities have influenced quite a bit in the city throughout different areas. Many of the Allen County Amish have prospered in the construction industry, which is key for the Amish economy. So it's been cool to witness that. A lot of contractors will have a pretty significant amount of their crew will be part of the Amish community. So it's been pretty cool. They've built some of their own businesses here in Fort Wayne. One of them is a donut shop that started in Churubusco, specifically Churubusco, Indiana. It is kind of spread throughout different areas of Indiana, but it is called Rise and Roll. And it is very popular Amish-owned donut shop. There's also, there's a donut there actually called the Crack Donut. It's just covered in powder, like cinnamon, powdered sugar deliciousness. And they always say you can never eat one, which is true. Now let's jump into the landscape of Fort Wayne. Fort Wayne is going to be 111 square miles wide. So that's comparable to Orlando, Florida, with about 2,400 people per square mile. So Fort Wayne is not going to be like the busy hustle and bustle type of city though, that you might think of when it comes to places like Orlando, Indianapolis, Chicago, stuff like that. Just not as busy. Speaking of these big, huge cities, that kind of jumps us into cost of living. Fort Wayne is incredibly affordable, and a lot of questions that we get from people is it expensive to live here? And people are moving to Fort Wayne because the answer to that question is no, it is not expensive to live here. It is incredibly affordable. One of the most inexpensive places to live. We get ranked in the top 10 pretty consistently. We've been ranked in the top 10 past 4 years since 2018. So I think that kind of answers that question for you. The reason we know this as realtors, we're helping clients relocate here. Oftentimes it's because they're wanting something more affordable, but they're wanting to be able to get a bigger home and upgrade. And they're able to find a home here that's, let's say, 3 times the size of a home in California, but it is significantly less, at least half the price, if not way more than that. The other day, I was actually emailing back and forth with a gentleman who lives in Honolulu. Now, I consider it paradise, but it is insanely expensive to live there. It's beautiful, it's fantastic, but you got to make some type of money to live in Honolulu. And after speaking with them, they're looking to relocate to Fort Wayne because they'll actually be able to buy a house and live here. Probably you're looking more upwards of $1 million. That's their median house. So let's just do a quick cost analysis based off that. If I go to NerdWallet and do a cost of living calculator, I can see exactly how Fort Wayne, Indiana stacks up against other cities. Let's say that you live in Austin at this very moment and you make $150,000 a year. You need that to live in Austin, whereas here in Fort Wayne, you can make less than half that and you would have the same standard of living that you would enjoy there. But you're not having to spend nearly as much money. It's so much more affordable. On top of that, your property taxes are also significantly lower. So I used to live in Austin. I graduated from Texas Tech. I moved there and I went from being able to live in a home to then all of a sudden having to live in an apartment because the housing was so expensive. Gas prices are higher, taxes are higher, the traffic is ridiculous. That's just to give you guys a little bit of idea of just how much more affordable it is to live in Fort Wayne. So we're jumping now into what can you do here in Fort Wayne? Fort Wayne is actually known as Summit City because of its highest elevation on a canal route around the 3 rivers. So we got the St. Mary's, the St. Joe, and the Maumee River. Every year there is a 3 Rivers Fest that actually is held at Headwaters Park, and it's basically like a state fair. Many different festivals and events occur throughout the year at Headwaters Park. We have a German Fest, we have Greek Fest, we have Taste of Arts Fort Wayne, and in October there's even a Fright Night where the streets of downtown turn into the night of the Walking Dead, and it's like a zombie land, and it's awesome. Sounds scary, but it's awesome. It's all fun. Fort Wayne also has great outdoor activities. It's got a great trail system. It's actually have over 120,000 miles worth of trails. The Fort Wayne Trails was established in 2011 as a merger of the 3 local trail groups known as the River Greenway Consortium, the Boyd New Trails that extends out to the suburban areas of the southwest part of town, and also Northwest Allen Trails. Indiana is also the land of a lot of lakes as well. Lake James, Lake Schaefer, Lake Wawasee, and Lake Tippecanoe, also known as Lake Tippy. And no, I did not make that up. That is what they call it. It's about 45 miles from Fort Wayne, making it a great option for a quick day trip. And it's one of the deepest natural lakes in the state of Indiana, actually, and offers 25 different fish species. Every water recreational activity you can think of, and plenty of boat launches for you to be able to head out into the water, maybe do some water skiing, do some tubing, all the fun things that you could imagine doing in the warmer months on the lake. Indiana does have a lot of churches, known for church, very religious. It's known as the City of Churches, actually, with over 360 churches within the city limits and over 40 religious organizations. Fort Wayne has the feel of the Bible Belt, which is just all the amount of churches and religious organizations that it has. Now, in general, Indiana has some incredibly strange alcohol laws. So I would say in the country, very strange. Those laws are strict because of the religious atmosphere that Fort Wayne has or had. But things are changing slowly. It's something to just be aware of. There won't be any open container areas in Indiana anytime soon. And if that's what you're looking for, you're gonna have to look elsewhere because it's not gonna be here. So that was a lot of information that we unpacked in this video. If you have any questions, always reach out to us. We'd love to get into further detail with you. Make sure to check out our other video, 7 tips when it comes to moving and relocating to Fort Wayne. And until next time, peace.